work completely. If I give any kind of test case, we know how to handle that and all those things. But if problem comes, if there are thousands and thousands of lines of code is written, where exactly to trace out the error? For example, if in one method there are some 50 lines of code, somewhere in between if it is getting failed, which line is getting failed? If you are able to know where you are getting the error, then you can solve it. Our major problem is we should come to know where we are getting the problem. That is our major problem actually. Your batch number 240? 5. Okay. Where exactly we are getting a problem? In that case, if you are able to run the program line by line, if you are able to run the program line by line, then we will come to know where exactly the problem is occurring. Right? Just a Okay. Now what I am going to do here is I am going to take one program lines of code. I am going to run the program line by line. That is called debugging. If you know how to do debugging, you can able to solve the doubts by yourself. Even if you bring the errors to me, right? I will ask you in which line you are getting the error. In that case, if you want to know in which line you are getting the error, you should know how to debug the program. How to do a program. For example, I have this alert or some other class. When I run this program, what happens? It will open the browser, it will open this URL, it will click on this generate alert box, click on OK, again click on generate alert box, it will get the text and it will print it and click on OK. This is what it does, right? Let's see. It is opening the browser, it is opening the URL. The browser and it is opening the URL. It has did everything. Click on OK. Care and Informatix, these things. Now, imagine that somewhere here, or somewhere here, I am getting an error. Okay, just before one or two lines, keep a debug pointer. One or two lines, keep a debug pointer. Debug pointer in this is just double click on the line number. You will get a point there. Dot. Have you got it? If you double click on that, you will get it. Okay, keep a debug pointer. Don't run the program. Don't run the program. Debug the program. There is an option called debug. This B symbol is there, right? Insect symbol. Click on that. It will come up to here and it will stop. It will come to the breakpoint. That is called breakpoint. Debug pointer is there, right? It will come up to there and it will open the browser, maximize the browser, opens the URL and it will stop there. Let's see that. Opens the browser, opens the URL and it will come here and it will stop. It will come here and it will stop. Now, if I click on yes, it will switch to the debug mode. Now it came up to here. It has opened the browser. It has opened the URL and it has stopped now. Now when I click on yes, it will switch to the debug mode. it will switch to the debug mode. Yes, it has switched here. Understood? Now earlier it is in the Java mode. This is the Java mode. It is in the Java mode. When I click on yes, it has switched to the debug mode here. Now when you are in the debug mode, you can do the debugging. Now from here, if I want to run only this line, then there is an option called step over. Click on this. It will run only that line and it will come to the next line. Now if I click on this, it will run only this line. As a result of doing this line, it has to click on the generate alert box and it has to raise the pop-up. Click on this. Yes, it has clicked on the generate alert box and it came to the next line. It has raised the pop-up here. Okay, then again click on this. It will wait for 3 seconds and it will come to the next line. Then again click on this. It will click on OK. Likewise, I can run line by line. I can run line by line. Now, stop debugging. Sorry, if I want to run, if there are many other lines, if you want to run the other lines, then click on resume button. Like how you play a song, stop, play like that, stanza by stanza like that, or else continuously. The same way here also. If I click on this, it will run all the remaining lines and it will come out. Understood? Then again switch back to the debug mode. Let me explain you once again also, people who have not got it. Okay, listen carefully because this is very, very important. Without knowing debugging, you cannot do anything going further. Right? That's why. Let me start debug. Just double click on the line number. You will get a debug pointer. Okay? Don't run the program, debug the program. Don't run the program, debug the program. Don't run the program, debug the program. It will open the browser, opens the first it will open the browser, opens the URL, it will come up to this particular point and it will stop. Yeah, it is opening browser. Then it will open, maximize the browser, it will open the URL and it has stopped. Now if we click on this, yes, it will switch to the debug mode. It will switch to the debug mode. Here I need to go step by step. This is how to go step by step. If you want to run the remaining lines, click on this, it will run the remaining lines and it will come out. Understood? Now switch back to the debug mode. This is how to do debugging. Okay, this is one major important thing. This you should have learned in the beginning itself, but anyhow you will not do all these things when you are, that's why I am teaching you now. Now, next one. Is WebDriver is a class or interface? Is that is all about debugging is done, guys. Now let us see what is meant by class, what is interface and all those things. Is WebDriver is a class or interface? It's an interface. It's an interface. Is this Firefox driver is a class or interface? It's a class. iTest I1 equal to new display. I would have written the program initially when I have taught you the Java. There iTest is an interface, 11 is a class. You cannot create object for the interface directly. That is what I said, right? The same way. See, if you want to know how can I come to know that whether this is a class or, okay, before that let me go to the single select. Is select is a class or interface? It's a interface. Select class has 3 different methods. Select by index, select by, I said select as a class. Actions class, select class we have saw, right? Then again you are telling select as a interface. Select is a class. Select is a class. But here WebDriver is an interface and Firefox driver is. Sir, how can I come to know that whether that is a class or interface? How can we easily identify? I'll tell you some two small crooked ways how to do. Remember that. If left hand side and if right hand side both are different, then left hand side is an interface and right hand side is a class. That is how you can easily identify. Are you understanding? But if left hand side and right hand side both are same, then it's a class. That's one crooked way. Understood? Second way, when I mouse over on this, it shows us I. That is nothing but interface. It shows I here, which is nothing but an interface. But here when I mouse over on this, it shows us C, which means a class. Are you able to differentiate now? Easily. If they write in paper and if they ask you also, easily you will be able to tell that now. Right? Most of them won't reveal these kind of secrets because that is their own understanding. Okay? Since you might be from non-technical background, you might not be knowing all these things. That is why I am teaching all this. Right? Now, dd dot, select by index, select by value, select by visible text. These methods are under which class? Select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Those methods are under which class? Select class. That's why I am creating object for that. With that object I am calling those methods. Am I correct? Select by index, select by value and select by visible text. Done. Select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Now, these methods are under select class, that's why. Driver dot. Get method is under which interface? Get method is under? Get method is under which interface? WebDriver. Get method is under WebDriver interface. Okay. Get title method is under which interface? WebDriver. Okay. Get current URL is under which interface? Get current URL. WebDriver. That method is under WebDriver. Okay, from this is how. Now, maximize method is under which interface? If it is under WebDriver, I can call driver.maximize, right? Then why are you using manage.window. And all? These kind of interview questions you will be getting. Then what is this driver.manage.window.maximize? Then if the maximize method is under WebDriver, you can call driver.maximize. Why are you using that dot? Don't tell that it's inner method. There is no concept called inner methods at all in Java. Okay? In that case, let me explain it clearly. What does this driver.manage returns? What does this driver.manage returns? Options. Since it returns an options, I have to hold that in an options interface. Options OPT is equal to. Options interface has a method called window. Options interface has a method called window. What does this window method returns? What does this window method returns? Window. Anything which is next to colon is the return type I said. Since it returns a window, hold that in a window object. This window interface has a method called maximize. This window interface has a method called maximize. Actually, I have to use these 3 lines to maximize, not that 1 line. Okay? Is options is a class or interface? Interface. Left hand side, right hand side are different. Right? Is window is a class or interface? It's a interface. window win equal to new window. If you have like this, then only it's a class. Then only it's a class. Or else it's an interface again. Understood? Window win equal to opt dot something is there. That's not, that doesn't suit as a class. That's why. Okay. Now, what does this driver dot manage? This is equal to, this is equal to OPT. Okay. Driver dot manage this is equal to OPT. Instead of cut this and instead of this OPT, I can paste that, right? Yes. Instead of OPT, I can paste that. Then what does this driver dot manage dot window dot maximize? This is equal to win. Instead of win, I can paste this and remove this, right? Yes. Than writing 3 lines, I am writing that in 1 line. Okay, if they ask you to explain, then you should be able to clearly come to know. Take down this into your notes. Only these 4 lines, driver dot manage and these 3. Whatever I have selected here, take down only this. Okay, now okay. Here I am going to have another class called class 1 or something. Inside this I am going to have a method called public void Bangalore system.out.println. This is Bangalore. Now if I want to call this Bangalore method, how can I call this Bangalore method which is there inside the class 1? Create an object for class 1 101 equal to new 1 101 equal to new 1 01 dot Bangalore 01 dot Bangalore, right? Now if you want to if they ask you to rename any method name, how will you rename? Directly if you go and rename Bangalore city, if I want to rename, if I rename like that, you would have used this method in 100 places or 200 places also. In every place you have to go and rename, right? Than that, whenever they tell you to rename, don't directly blindly go here and change the name. That's not the procedure. What you have to do, select that, right click, go to, there is an option called refactor. There is an option called rename. Okay, go here and change the name so that wherever you use, it will change automatically. Refactor and rename. In all the project, wherever you used in the entire, in other packages also, if you have used, everywhere it will get changed.
In same page. So suppose we create some SRS.
Wherever it might be inside the project, the complete project, it will rename. That's why follow this approach to modify the method names. Understood? Even the same way the class name also. If I want to give one number, okay, don't blindly change the number. It will not change. So that what I have to do, right click, go to refactor and rename. So that I will be going to get one number. It has got renamed completely. This is how you have to rename. Okay, if I want to change the city, right click, refactor. How to refactor. Now whenever we give the class name, I see many of them starting the class name with small letters. Don't do that. Class name should start with capital letters. CC, remember like that. Class name capital letters. Method name small letters. It should start with small letters. Even if you give that with a method name with capital letters also, it will work. But that's not the right procedure. That's standard practice what we follow. Okay. Now class, the subsequent phrases, of course it should start with capital letters only. Either it might be for the class name or method name. The starting letter, method name small letters, I mean class name capital letters. Understood? And when I see you are starting a class here, method here, one line here, one line here, one line here, somewhere like this. If I write the program like this, will you be able to understand? You cannot understand. Quite a confusion. Alignment should be proper enough when you are writing the program. If you don't know how to align also, press Ctrl A. It will select all. Ctrl I, it will do the indentation. Take down if you want. Ctrl A for select all. Ctrl I for indentation. Indentation. See here, Control I for indentation. Control A, we know that Control A already. Control I for correct indentation. It will correct the indentations. Okay, these are some of the basic things what you have to know. And whenever I am giving the X path, whenever I am identifying the X path here, I said you to use single quotes inside the X path. Sir, even if I use double quotes also it identifies. But why are you insisting us to use single quotes always? Why? Because already I am giving X path in a string inside the double quotes. Again, if I use double quotes inside the X path, right, it thinks that X path started here and it had ended here. This is some other unnecessary text. That is how it imagines, right? That's why to overcome the drawback which is there inside the double quotes outside, then come with this. Understood? These are some basic things. These things no one will teach actually. This is not a part of course at all. How to do debugging, why to use small letters, capital letters, which class is under which interface and all. See, for example, if they ask you implicitly wait is under which interface, then you have to come to know driver dot manage dot timeouts. This returns timeouts. Implicitly wait is under timeouts interface, right? Likewise, you should come to know each and every method is under which class or interface before going to the interview. Okay, that you have to go open each and every line and try to go like that control space, use it and come to know which return type of that and that particular interface that will be. Understood? These are some of the basic, and control plus shift plus O is used to get the imports. That already I have said you. If you want, you can take down. It will remove the unnecessary imports and it will add the necessary imports. Control plus shift plus O. Okay, and any other things? Some basic things in Selenium.
Control plus space also give automatic.
Now that already we are using many time control space for to get the help menu.